Hello friends and welcome to Sustainable Prepping, your home for fear-free emergency preparedness and a sustainable life. My name is Brecky and today I am giving you my 2022 preparedness goals. Yes, it's February. Yes, I am late to the game. I took most of January off for some physical and mental health reasons. I got burned out, y'all. It happens. I have 4 kids. I work a full-time job and I'm trying to grow this as something that I'm really passionate about. And it takes a lot of work when you're a one-woman show. So I needed a break, but now I'm back and I have some goals. And this time, my friends, I have specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, time sensitive, or time bound, whatever the SMART acronym is, I have those goals. And I'm excited to be bringing them to you today. For 2022, I'm going to only focus on 4 goals because we have some transitions coming. We're hopefully going to be starting the girls into nursery school. My oldest is going to be starting high school this year. What on the earth is my life? I am not ready for that. It's so wild to me. We're hopefully going to be seeing some family and just in a state of transitioning our normal, which has been, since March of 2020, everybody kind of at home all the time. But that will be a big transition happening for our family. That said, I have 4 goals and they are specific and measurable, and I'm really excited. They're not exactly time bound. I don't have specific dates for all of these, in part again because we have these transitions with the kids going to school and I'm not sure when that's going to start and all of that kind of a thing, but I do have specific, measurable, realistic goals. So they're time bound by being done before the end of 2022, I guess. So here we go. SMART goals for 2022 Emergency Preparedness Edition. Number 1 is to get my long-term food storage knocked out. I have about half, not quite half, about a third of what I want. And I just want to knock it out. I just want it to be done. I want it to be stored. I want it to be kind of off my plate and off my stressor. And because I want to get my long-term food storage done, I have specific things I want to work on. Now, these might be adjusted based on some calculations and whether or not I'm going to add in wheat berries or corn. These are some things I'm still deciding. But as of today, the beginning of February, I want us to focus on having 2 to 4 more buckets of rice. 2 is a minimum, but I'd love to get 4. We're going to see what prices do and storage. So then I want to get 2.5 more buckets of beans. I have 1.5 now, so I want to get 2.5 more buckets of beans minimum. I can always do more, but I want to do 2.5. That would get us to a minimum of 6 buckets of rice and 4 buckets of beans, which I feel very confident about for the size of our family would be a good base layer. I want to do 1 bucket of salt and 1 bucket of sugar, and that would be the base, and I'd be very happy with that, and I would be very confident with that as our long-term storage because I have mid-tier and a, first tier pantry. So I'd be very confident with that. I am looking into how we want to store corn and what kind of corn we want to store. I'm looking into wheat berries and options for gluten-free folks. I'm looking into what that would be best for long-term food storage, but because I haven't made a decision, I'm not including that. So 2 to 4 buckets of rice, 2.5 or more buckets of beans, 1 bucket of salt, 1 bucket of sugar, and that will be my long-term food storage goals. And I will be very satisfied with that. All right, my second goal for 2022 is to take CPR and first aid class. This is very specific. I want to get CPR certified through a class, an actual in-person class, and I want to get first aid level 1, like the basic first aid certified through a physical in-person class. Now, I know that there are some online classes, and I would be considering those for maybe a little bit more advanced stuff or for maybe some herbal lessons, things like that. But I really want to have an instructor showing me the proper techniques because I haven't had CPR certification since I was in college, which has been a while ago now. Additionally, I am hopeful that my husband and my 2 sons will join me in taking the CPR and first aid certification, and they definitely will want to have a hands-on experience. So as long as we can find it and we can do it in a safe and healthy manner, we're definitely, or at least I am definitely going to be signing up and taking a CPR and a first aid 1 class. My third goal is also skills focused. So my second goal, CPR and first aid, is a skill that I'm wanting to increase. So is my third goal. And my third goal is to cook 60% or more of our meals from scratch. And I want to put a little asterisk here and say I'm not going to get into baking bread every single week, though I don't mind mixing that in sometimes, but doing more of our sides from scratch, not relying as many convenience foods for when things are stressful, kind of having some pre-made meals in place so I'm not relying on convenience foods. I really want to focus on from scratch cooking, particularly in the summer when our garden is booming. I've lost some of our produce because we just couldn't cook it fast enough, and I really don't want that to happen again. I want us to be eating every single thing that we can from our garden. So lots of from scratch cooking, lots of figuring out how to prepare, like prep my meals in advance, have them in the freezer or have them, jarred up so that I have on hand things and I'm not going to a frozen bag of this and a frozen, side of that. Those things aren't bad, but the less I can rely on them, the better I'm going to be. So my goal is to get to 60% of our meals from scratch cooking. I'm not going to include snacks. I'm not ready to make all of our Cheez-Its from home. One day, maybe. I have a full-time job, so that just seems real stressful, but I do want the meals primarily to be 60% from scratch. I'm excited. That will be a challenge. I might not get there, but by the end of the year, I want us to be averaging 60% or better of from scratch cooking. And my fourth and final goal is about sustainable prepping, the channel and the community that we are building together. I really want to do more engagement. So my fourth goal is really to do monthly collaborations and some kind of non-video engagement, whether that's a monthly live stream, whether that's some kind of Q&A in the Facebook group or an Instagram live, whether that's finding other collaborators and interviewing them and having conversations. I want to be doing more, to be reaching you, and to not just be a talking head on the other side of a screen. At the end of the day, we are trusting each other to learn together, to build up one another in our skills and in our shared convictions. We believe that collaboration is important. This is some of what makes us different than other emergency preparedness communities. We believe in collaboration and we believe in sharing information and ideals, and we believe that you don't go it alone. We do it in community. So what better place to practice that than right here on the channel, collaborating with other content creators, collaborating with you and answering your specific questions, creating Q&A spaces and creating live streams for those of you who are interested, just finding more ways to reach you as the real life person that's on the other side of the screen. Having really meaningful conversations, I think, is important. So these are my 4 goals for 2022. Of course, I have lots of other goals that aren't specifically emergency preparedness related, right? I have a whole bunch of habits I'm trying to form, like stretching every day and flossing my teeth every day. I average about 50% of the time these days, guys. In all things, I know it's baby steps and I'm not going to be perfect. It's the progress that counts, right? It's progress, not perfection. I think that's key in any goal setting. Comment down below and let me know, what are your 2022 goals? Do you have big goals? Do you have big goals? I have some that I really want to commit to, but I just don't think this is quite the year. I really want to get into solar energy. I really want to do rain catchment. But with toddlers, I'm not sure I want to bring all that tech into the house. One day, maybe 2023. I want to know what your goals are, though. Do you have big goals? Do you have small goals? Do you have SMART goals? Do you have measurable benchmarks for them? I hope you do, because that will keep you successful. I'd love to cheer you on and encourage you in all the goals you're setting for yourself. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you find my videos valuable, share them with a friend, share them in a Facebook group. This really helps me expand my engagement and create a fear-free emergency community, particularly for people who maybe have been intimidated by emergency preparedness in the past. I want to reach those folks and help them be calm and confident in any crisis. And until next time, happy prepping.